Greetings and welcome. We are in sophomore English, and our objective now for the hour is to continue with our study of Julius Caesar, Act 3. Again, I want to go back to the schemata that I gave to you before. This is a tripartite third act. Events which will happen before the murder of Julius Caesar, the assassination itself, and then finally the events which will happen following. That especially has to do with the issues of the two speeches. So important that as you're listening to the two speeches and you're reading them, you're paying close attention to, I'll say it for you now, you want to write it at 2B, rhetorical techniques. Rhetorical, R-H-E-T-O-R-I-C-A-L, rhetorical techniques. Not what necessarily what's said, but the way in which the language is constructed in such a way to elicit powerful responses, and powerful responses they will be. Again, we finish this act with basically near anarchy and chaos by the end. Here we go, 3, 1.
The Ides of March are come. I, Caesar, not God.
Hail, Caesar! Read this schedule.
Tribonius doth desire you to read at your best leisure this his humble suit.
Oh, Caesar, read thine first. For thine the suit that touches Caesar dearer. Read it, great Caesar.
What touches us ourselves shall be last served.
Delay not, Caesar. Read it instantly.
What is the fellow mad?
Sir, give face.
What urge you your petitions in the street? Come to the Capitol.
I wish your enterprise today may thrive.
What enterprise? Papilius!
Very well.
What's in Papilius, Nina? He wished today our enterprise might thrive. And here our purpose is discovered. Look how he makes to Caesar. Mark him. Yes, be sudden, for we fear prevention. Brutus, what shall be done? If this be known, Cassius or Caesar never shall turn back. I will slay myself.
Cassius, be constant. Papilius Nina speaks not of our purposes. For look, he smiles, and Caesar does not change.
Papilius knows his time. Not of Brutus. He draws Mark Antony out of the way.
Where is Metellus? Let him go and presently prefer his suit to Caesar. He is addressed. Press him here and second him. Yes, sir. You are the first.
Are we all ready? What is now amiss that Caesar and his Senate must redress?
Most high, most mighty, and most puissant Caesar, the jealous Simba throws before thy seat an humble heart.
I must prevent these, Simba. These couchings and these lowly courtesies might fire the blood of ordinary men, and turn the ordinance and first decree into the law of children. Be not fond of think that Caesar bears such rebel blood that will be poured from the true quality with that which melteth fools. I mean sweet words, low crooked courtesies, and base spaniel fawning. Thy brother by decree is banishing. If thou dost bend and pray and fawn for him, I spurn thee like a cur out of my way. No, Caesar doth not wrong, nor without cause will he be satisfied.
Is there no voice more worthy than mine own, to sound more sweetly in great Caesar's ear for the repealing of my banished brother?
I kiss thy hand, but not in flattery, Caesar. Desiring thee that Publius Simba may have an immediate freedom of repeal.
What? Brutus?
Pardon, Caesar.
Caesar, pardon.
As low as to thy foot doth Cassius fall, to beg enfranchisement for Publius Simba.
I could be well moved if I were as you. If I could pray to move, prayers would move me. But I am constant as the northern star,
Dark irony, right?
whose true fixed and resting quality there is no fellow in the firmament. The skies are painted with unnumbered sparks. They are all fire, and every one doth shine. But there's but one in all doth hold his place. So in the word is furnished well with men, and men of flesh and blood and apprehensive. Yet in the number I do know but one that unassailable, holds on his rank unshaped of motion. a little show it, even in this. I was constant, Simba should be banished, and constant to remain to keep himself.
Oh, Caesar!
Hence, wilt thou lift up Olympus?
Great Caesar!
Doth not Brutus bootless kneel?
Speak hands for me!
Again, we're on audio, so obviously it's difficult to show the scene. Caesar's last word.
Liberty! Freedom! Tyranny is dead!
All right, here we go.
Proclaim! Cry it out the streets!
Come to the common pulpits and cry out liberty, freedom, and enfranchisement!
People and senators, be not affrighted. Fly not! Stand still! Ambition's debt is paid! Go to the pulpit, Brutus!
And Cassius too.
Where's Publius here? Quite well.
Stand fast together, lest the friend of Caesar should shout.
No, don't stand in. Yes, good cheer. There is no harm intended to your person or to no Roman else. So tell the Publius.
And leave us like this, lest that the people rushing on us should do your aid some mischief.
Do so, and let no man abide this deed but we the doers.
Where is Antony?
Led to his house amazed. Men, wives, and children scared, cry out and run as if we're doomsday.
Speaks, we will know your pleasures. That we shall die, we know. 'Tis but a time, and drawing days out that men stand upon.
He that cuts off 20 years of life cuts off so many years of fearing death.
Grant that and his death a benefit. So are we Caesar's friends, that have abridged his time of fearing death. Stoop, and let us bathe our hands in Caesar's blood up to the elbows, and besmear our swords, and walk we forth even to the marketplace, and waving our red weapons on our heads, let's all cry peace, freedom, and liberty.
Stoop then and wash. How many ages hence shall this our lofty scene be acted over, in states unborn and accents yet unknown?
How many times shall Caesar bleed in sport, that now on Pompey's bases lies along no worthier than the dust?
So oft as that shall be, so often shall the lot of us be called the men that gave their country liberty.
What shall we forth?
Aye, every man away, Brutus shall lead, and we will brace his heels with the most boldest and best hearts of Rome.
Soft, who comes here? A friend of Antony's.
Thus did my master bid me kneel. Thus did Mark Antony bid me fall down, and being prostrate, thus he bade me say, Brutus is noble, wise, valiant, and honest. Caesar was mighty, bold, royal, and loving. Say I loved Brutus and I honor him. Say I feared Caesar, honored him, and loved him. If Brutus will vouchsafe that Antony may safely come to him, and be resolved how Caesar hath deserved to lie in death, Mark Antony shall not love Caesar dead so well as Brutus living, but will follow the fortunes and affairs of noble Brutus, thorough the hazards of this untrod state with all true faith. So says my master Antony.
Thy master is a wise and valiant Roman. I never thought him worse. Tell him, so please him come unto this place, he shall be satisfied. By my honor, depart untouched.
I'll fetch him presently.
I know that we shall have him well to friend.
I wish we may, but yet have I a mind that fears him much.
See the irony?
My
Gus
misgivings
is
still
right, he
fall
knows.
shrewdly to the purpose.
Here comes Antony. Welcome, Mark Antony.
Mighty Caesar, dost thou lie so low? Are all thy conquests, glories, triumphs, spoils, shrunk to this little measure? There they go. I know not, gentlemen, what you intend. Who else must be let blood? Who else is rank? If I myself, there is no hour so fit as Caesar's death hour, nor no instrument of half that worth as those your swords, made rich with the most noble blood of all this world.
I do beseech ye,
If you bear me hard, now, whilst your purple hands do reek and smoke, fulfill your pleasure. Live 1,000 years, I shall not find myself so apt to die. No place will please me so, no meaner death as here by Caesar, and by you cut off the choice and master spirits of his age.
Oh, Antony, beg not your death of us. Though now we must appear bloody and cruel, as by our hands in this our present act you see we do. Yet see you but our hands, and this the bleeding business they have done. Our hearts, you see, they are pitiful, and pity to the general wrong of Rome. As fire drives out fire, so pity, pity, hath done this deed on Caesar. For your part, to you our swords have 11 points, Mark Antony. Our arms in strength of malice, and our hearts of brother's temper, to receive you in with all kind love, good thoughts and reverence.
Your voice shall be as strong as any man's in the disposing of new dignities.
Only be patient, till we have appeased the multitude beside themselves with fear, and then we will deliver you the cause, why I, that did love Caesar when I struck him, have thus proceeded.
I doubt not, yours. Let each man render me his bloody hand. First, Marcus Brutus of my shield. Next, Caius Cassius of my hand. Now Decius Brutus yours. Now yours, Metellus. Yours, Cinna. And my valiant Casca. Though last, not least in love, yours, alas, what shall I say? Credit now stands on such slippery ground that one of two bad ways we must ensue be, either a coward or a flatterer. That I did love Caesar is true. If then my spirit will call us now, shall it not leave me dearer than I did to see thy Antony making his peace? Shaking in bloody fingers of thy foes, most the Christmas of thy court. And I as many eyes as thou hast borne, winking as fast as they stream forth thy blood. It would become me better than to close in terms of friendship with thy enemy. Pardon me. Here was not the brave heart. Here is thou fall, and here thy hunters stand, silent in thy smile and crimson. World, thou wast a forest to this heart, and this indeed, O world, the heart of thee. Thou like an ear struck on my many process, dost thou hear mine?
Mark Antony.
Pardon me, Caius Cassius. The enemies of Caesar shall say this, and in a friend it is cold modesty.
I blame you not for praising Caesar so, but what compact mean you to have with us? Will you be pricked in number of our friends, or shall we arm and not depend on you?
Therefore I took your hands, and was indeed swayed with the will by looking down on Caesar. Friends, am I with you? Love you, upon this hope that you shall give me reasons why and wherein Caesar was dangerous.
Or else were this a savage spectacle. Our reasons are so full of good regard, that were you, Antony, the son of Caesar, you should be satisfied.
That's all I see. And am moreover suited that I may produce his body to the marketplace, and in the pulpit as becomes a friend, speak and turn wisdom.
You shall, Mark Antony.
Brutus, a word with you.
Right.
You know not what you do. Do not consent that Antony speak in his will. Know you how much the people may be moved by that which he will utter?
By your pardon, I will myself, at first, show the reason for Caesar's action. When Antony shall speak, I will protest he speaks by leave and by permission. And if we are contented, Caesar shall have all true rites and lawful ceremonies,
It shall advantage more than do us wrong.
I know not what may fall. I like it not.
Mark Antony, here, take you Caesar's body. You shall not in your funeral speech blame us, but speak all good you can advise of Caesar. And say you do it by our permission. Else shall you not have any hand at all about his funeral. And you shall speak in the same pulpit whereto I am going after my speech is ended.
Yes, sir. I desire.
Prepare the body then, and follow us.
You gotta be reading this to be able to hear it. He's whispering it. Somebody's got to pay, in other words.
Over thy wounds now, my prophesy, which like thou mouth do open their wounds, bend the voice and utterance of my tongue. A curse shall light upon the limbs of men. Domestic fury and fierce civil strife shall cumber all the parts of Italy. Blood and destruction shall be so in use, and dreadful objects so familiar, that mothers shall but smile when they behold their infants quartered with the hands of war. All pity choked with custom of fellow deeds, and Caesar's spirit ranging for revenge, with Ate by his side, come hot from hell, shall in these confines with a monarch's voice cry havoc, and let slip the dogs of war, that this foul deed shall smell above the earth with carrion men groaning for death. Go serve Octavius Caesar. Caesar did right for him to come.
You see his letters and his coming, and bid me say to you my word of mother. Oh, Caesar!
This is going to be the response by more people.
Thy heart is full, yet thee apart. Passion I see is catching for mine eyes, seeing the beams of sorrow stand benign. Is thy master coming?
I estimate within 7 leagues of Rome.
Post back with speed and tell him what it chance. Here is a morning road, a dangerous road. No room of safety for Octavius yet. Hindness, tell him so. Yet stay a while. Thou shalt not that, till I have borne this course into the market. There shall I try in my oration how the people take the cruel mission. According to the which thou shalt discourse to young Octavius of the state.
All right, here we go. 3-2. Again, 3-2. Easy in your mind. 2 important speeches. Make sure you outline both of them.
Be patient till the last. Romans, countrymen and lovers, hear me for my cause, and be silent that you may hear. Believe me for mine honor, and have respect to mine honor, that you may believe. Censure me in your wisdom, and awake your sense that you may the better judge. If there be any in this assembly, any dear friend of Caesar's, to him I say that Brutus' love to Caesar was no less than his. If then that friend demand why Brutus rose against Caesar, this is my answer. Not that I loved Caesar less, but that I loved Rome more.
There you go, famous line.
As Caesar were living and die all slaves, than that Caesar were dead, to live all free men. As Caesar loved me, I weep for him. As he was fortunate, I rejoice. As he was valiant, I honor him. But as he was ambitious, I slew him. There is tears for his love, joy for his fortune, honor for his valor, and death for his ambition. Who is here so base that would be a bondman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so rude that would not be a Roman? If any, speak, for him have I offended. Who is here so vile that will not love his country? If any, speak, for him have I offended. I pause for a reply. Then none have I offended. I have done no more to Caesar than you shall do to Brutus. The question of his death is enrolled in the Capitol. His glory not extenuated, wherein he was worthy, nor his offences enforced, for which he suffered death. Here comes his body, borne by Mark Antony, who, though he had no hand in his death, shall receive the benefit of his dying, a place in the Commonwealth, as which of you shall not? With this I depart, that as I slew my best lover for the good of Rome, I have the same dagger for myself, when it shall please my country to read my death.
Vive Brutus!
Good countrymen, let me depart alone. And for my sake, stay here with Antony. Do grace to Caesar's corpse, and grace his speech tending to Caesar's glories, which Mark Antony, by our permission, is allowed to make. I do entreat you, not a man depart, save I alone.
Dark irony.
Antony hath spoke.
Stay, I will let it be a Mark Antony.
Let him go up into the public chair. We'll hear him.
Noble Antony, come, for Brutus' sake, I am beholding to you.
What does he say of Brutus?
He says for Brutus' sake he finds himself beholden to his own.
Best we speak no harm of Brutus here.
This Caesar was a tyrant!
Hey, let's settle.
We are blessed the Rome is rid of him.
Peace, let us hear what Antony can say.
You gentle Romans,
Peace, ho! Let us hear him.
friends, Romans, countrymen,
Most famous
lend
speech.
me your ears.
Brilliant speech.
I come to bury Caesar, not to praise him. The evil that men do lives after them. The good is oft interred with their bones. So let it be with Caesar. The noble Brutus hath told you Caesar...
Notice how many times the word noble gets used.
If it were so, it was a grievous fault, and grievously hath Caesar answered it. Here, under leave of Brutus and the rest, for Brutus is an honourable man. So are they all honourable men. Come I to speak in Caesar's funeral. He was my friend, faithful and just to me. But Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. He hath brought many captives home to Rome, whose ransoms did the general coffers fill. Did this in Caesar seem ambitious? When did the poor have cried, Caesar hath wept? Ambitions would be made of sterner stuff, yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and Brutus is an honourable man. You all did see that on the Lupercal I thrice presented him a kingly crown, which he did thrice refuse. Was this ambition? Yet Brutus says he was ambitious, and sure he is an honourable man. I speak not to dispute what Brutus spoke, but here I am to speak what I do know. You all did love him once, not without cause. What cause withholds you then to mourn for him? Judgments are left for brutish beasts, and men have lost their reason. My heart is in the common bearer of Caesar.
Much reason in his sayings.
So it's in a like the matter Caesar's had it been wrong.
As he masters, I fear there will a worse come in his place.
Oh, to his words, he would not take the crown.
Therefore, this he was not ambitious.
He found so somewhat the other fighting.
So his eyes are red as fire with weeping.
A noble man in Rome, an enemy.
He who builds on the people builds on mud.
But yesterday, the word of Caesar might have stood against the world. Now lies he there, and none so poor to look it round. Oh, masters, if I were disposed to stir your hearts and minds to mutiny and rage, I should do Brutus wrong and Cassius wrong, who you all know are honorable men. I will not do them wrong. I rather choose to wrong the dead, to wrong myself and you, than I will wrong such honorable men. But here's a parchment with the seal of Caesar. I found it in his closet. 'Tis his will.
Here we go.
Let but the commons hear this testament, which, pardon me, I do not need to read. And they would go and kiss dead Caesar's wounds, and dip their napkins in his sacred blood. Yea, beg a hair of him for memory, and I mention it within their wills, bequeathing it as a rich legacy unto their issue.
Hear the will. Read it, Mark.
Have patience, gentle friends, I must not read it. It is not meet you know how Caesar loved. You are not wood, you are not stones, but men. And being men, hearing the will of Caesar, it will inflame you, it will make you mad. 'Tis good you know not that you are his heirs, for if you should, oh, what would come of it?
Read the will.
Will you stay a while? I have forshot myself to tell you of it. I fear I wrong the honorable men whose daggers have stabbed Caesar. I do fear it. You will compel me then to read the will. Then make a ring about the corpse of Caesar, and let me show you him that day. Shall I descend? And will you give me leave?
You shall have leave!
Read, stand well.
Stand for the body!
Hey, press not so upon me, stand afar off. If you have tears, prepare to shed them now. You all do know this man. I remember the first time ever Caesar put on. It was on a summer's evening in his tent. That day he overcame Caesar went to the enemy's castle. Through this, the well-beloved Brutus stared. And as he plucked his cursed steel away, Mark, the lad of Caesar, followed him. As rushing out of doors to be resolved, Brutus kindly knocked. Brutus, as you know, was Caesar's agent. Judge, oh you gods, how dearly Caesar loved him. This was the most and kindest cut of all. For when the noble Caesar saw him stand, in gratitude more strong than traitor's arms, quite vanquished. Then burst his mighty heart, and in his mantle, muffling up his face, even at the base of Pompey's statue was all fire and blood. Great Caesar then. Oh, what a fall was there, my country. Then I and you and all of us fell down, whilst bloody treason flourished over us.
There's the T word. You see it? First time used. Treason.
Now, and I perceive you feel the dint of it. These are gracious thoughts. Kind souls, what weep you when you but behold our Caesar's vesture wounded? Look you here. Here is himself.
Pulls off the sheet.
Lord, as you see, with traitors.
Oh, piteous spectacle. Oh, noble Caesar. Oh, what will they? Oh, traitors, villains.
Oh, those bloody sides.
We will be revenged!
See Watch how he moves their feelings.
Good friends, sweet friends, let me not stir you up to such a sudden flood of mutiny. They that have done this deed are honourable. What private griefs they have, alas, I will not make them to. They are wise and honourable, and will, no doubt, with reason answer you. I come not, friends, to steal away your hearts. I am no orator as Brutus is, but as you know me all, a plain, blunt man that love my friend. And that they know full well that gave me public leave to speak of it. For I have neither wit nor words nor worth, action nor utterance, nor the power of speech to stir men's blood. I only speak right on. I tell you that which you yourselves do know, show you sweet Caesar's wounds, poor dumb mouths, and bid them speak for me. But were I Brutus, and Brutus Antony, there were an Antony would ruffle up your spirits and put a tongue in every wound of Caesar that should move the stones of Rome to rise and mutiny. You know not what. Wherein hath Caesar thus deserved your loves? Alas, you know not, I must tell you that you have forgot the will I told you of. Here is the will, and under Caesar's seal, to every Roman citizen he gives, to every several man, 75 drachmas. Hear me with patience. Moreover, he hath left you all his walks, his private harbours and new planted orchards on this side Tiber. He hath left them you and to your heirs forever. Common pleasures to walk abroad and recreate yourselves. Here was a Caesar. When comes such another?
Mischief thou art afoot. Take thou what course thou wilt. How now, fellow?
Sir, Octavius is already come to Rome.
Where is he?
He and Lepidus are at Caesar's house.
And thither will I straight to visit him. He comes upon a wish. Fortune is merry, and in this mood will give us anything.
I heard him say Brutus and Cassius are rid like madmen through the gates of Rome.
Belike they had some notice of the people, how I have moved them. Bring me to Octavius.
All right, here we go. Just to show you how crazy it is.
I'm trying to ride it east with Caesar. Seems unlucky charge my fantasy. Those wonderful doors, yet something leaves me forth.
Why don't I admit it,
Ready it well.
Are you a married man or a bed? Answer every man directly.
I will think.
I am wisely.
I'm sure you're best.
What is my name? Whither am I going? Where do I dwell? Am I a married man or a bachelor? Then to answer every man directly and briefly, or wisely and truly, wisely, I say I am a bachelor.
That suffices to say they are fools that marry you. Bear me a bang for that, I fear. Proceed directly.
Directly, I am going to Caesar's funeral.
As a friend or an enemy?
As a friend.
That matter is answered directly. Very briefly.
Briefly, I dwell by the Capitol.
You're getting searched. Truly.
Truly, my name is Sinner.
Make a quick note to yourself at 3:8 that Shakespeare is very interested in showing the ways in which crowds can become, I'm going to use now an academic term, unruly, bellicose. Namely, chaos can ensue really quickly when you get a group of people together. From Romeo and Juliet,